Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. The Mets are bringing back Sean Manaea. This time it'll be a 3-year, $75 million deal. The pitching market has been very lucrative for these guys. And a guy that has had some ups and downs in his career gets paid $75 million. So we'll see how that pans out. Obviously, the arm change, dropping down an arm slot,
Yeah.
seemed to have some success. Success, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, but what was your initial reaction to Manaea back to the Mets?
I like the steal for Manaea. I don't really love it for the Mets. Obviously he had a great year last year, ERA in the mid threes, but yeah, I feel like that's a lot of money for this guy. Obviously, he's not old, but he's getting up there. He's going into his age 33 season. But yeah, you touched on it. The arm kind of slot dropping down probably saved this guy's career, to be honest, because it's more like a Chris Sale cross your body delivery. He's developed a pretty good slider now, which has helped him a lot. So, yeah, it's a lot of money for Manaea on a multi-year deal. Like you said, pitchers have been getting paid. Like it's crazy some of these contracts that they're handed out. Um, like if you would have told me that at the start of the offseason that Nate Eovaldi and Sean Manaea got the same contract, I would have called you absolutely crazy. But that's the world we're living in right now. Both got 3-year, $75 million deals, and it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out over the years.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really put too much stock into the beginning part of his career because he is reinventing himself now.
Right.
Last year was his best year since 2021, where he was a 3.2 win pitcher. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. What's more so interesting for me as we come over to their rotation is they signed Clay Holmes to be a starter.
Mhm.
Kodai Senga obviously didn't pitch much. He pitched in the playoffs, one start in the regular season last year. They've already signed Frankie Montas. They also signed Griffin Canning
Yeah.
to be a starter for them, and supposedly they're pretty high on him. So they have Paul Blackburn as well, has been consistent for the past 4 or 5 seasons now. So a lot of starting pitching depth. I'll be curious to see what they do with one of these guys. The clear answer for me is to move Clay Holmes to the bullpen. But I don't know if Clay Holmes would have signed that deal if he wasn't promised to be a starter.
Right.
So that raises the question: okay, now you have Blackburn and Canning sitting around in your bullpen. I know Kodai barely pitched last year.
Yeah.
Does that mean they're going to a six-man rotation, like the Angels did with Shohei Ohtani, like the Dodgers are probably going to do this year?
Right.
If so, that only creates one spot for one of these guys. Paul Blackburn is not a bullpen arm. He's a
Yeah.
guy that, outside of last year, I mean, we go to 2023. He makes starts and he's gonna pitch it for you. So, um, I would be shocked to not see a Mets trade blank to somebody.
Right. Yeah. It wouldn't honestly like Clay Holmes has never started in his career other than like four starts in his rookie season with the Pirates. It's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out because in a way he signed a 3-year deal somewhere in the 30 millions. That doesn't work out. It's not that inexpensive of a closer arm for you. I mean, like he has closer experience. So if that doesn't work out, you slide Blackburn or Canning in there, and he becomes the setup guy for a guy like Diaz. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, but yeah, I would agree with you. There probably is a trade coming for sure.
Yeah, I mean they're very effective. Also, like Canning
Yeah.
basically is getting paid the same amount as Blackburn's projected to make, 4 million this year. So maybe it's a David Peterson, but he's only projected 4 million as well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't suspect that they would get rid of Peterson. He was nice for them last year.
Yeah.
But maybe you can pair a Blackburn, which I don't think has much value right now, with maybe a Starling Marte. He's on it's a 1 year deal. They
Yeah.
both are 1 year deals. You eat some of that money, you get rid of Marte's contract, you attach Blackburn with him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the play. I don't know what team would be willing to do that, but if you're desperate for starting pitching at a low cost and you're willing to take a shot and see what Starling Marte has left, maybe that's the play for an outsider. Um, as far as Sean Manaea goes, they do have him penciled in as the ace. It will be a 1A, 1B situation,
Yeah.
I would say, if Kodai Senga is healthy. But yeah, I mean, the Mets have had a nice offseason.
Oh
I
yeah.
still think they got some work to do here.
Yeah.
This lineup doesn't look that scary to me, to be honest with you,
Oh,
even with
it's
Juan Soto.
well, and that's the thing. Like they need Vientos to become a guy for them. Like obviously he hit 27 homers last year, and hitting in front of or sorry, pardon me, behind Soto will definitely help him for sure. But yeah, it's top heavy for sure. They need Brett Beatty to figure it out or find a replacement for him for sure. Like that's a young guy they've been pretty high on. He was a top 10 pick, 12th overall pick. Yeah, they need him to figure it out, or they need to find a replacement for him because I feel like that's the biggest need would be at third base. I like Siri in center field. Goes and gets it defensively, hits some homers. McNeil's a gamer. I like Nimmo. Like, there's a lot to like about this, but yeah, the lower part of that lineup definitely needs some work.
Yeah, it feels like it's inevitable that Pete Alonso comes back, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
I don't see a world where Starling Marte is your starting DH or
Right.
your DH for this season. Obviously, there's some options out there, maybe a Anthony Santander as well.
Mhm.
But I would, if I had to guess, Steve Cohen knows that even with Juan Soto, we need to add some offensively. So I'm assuming they'll trade one of those starting pitchers, whether it be Peterson or Blackburn, or they go and sign a Santander and I don't know, maybe Alex Bregman. You give me Alex Bregman in here
Oh,
and a Santander, this lineup then becomes something different.
yeah. Even if you added like a Teoscar Hernandez or a Santander in that lineup, like it looks pretty different too. So yeah, third base definitely the biggest question mark going into the season if I was a Mets fan.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you guys for listening and watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.